And I just wanted to forge a sword myself. Ooh. Yeah, there's this little blue flame.
Like magic.
Like magic. We know it's from the year 1624. Probably it's been much longer.
嗨，大家好，欢迎来到体验派原理的频道。说起工匠精神，你会想到哪儿啊？今天我们来到德国柏林，去拜访一下柏林最古老的铁匠铺。1624年开业，到去年2024，正好400年。我们去找他们这一代正在传承的匠人去聊聊天，也看看他们是怎么打铁的。走着，我们到喽！嘣嘣嘣嘣。Hi, this is Martin.
Hello.
This is Blacksmith shop is now 400 years old.
Yeah.
How was it originally opened?
Originally, well, we don't know.
Oh, really? You don't know?
The date, 400 years, 1624, is just a remark, what you would call nowadays a tax list.
Oh.
So it's like somebody going around the country, taking notes, who's working and who's doing stuff.
But you don't know the exact date.
No, there's no exact date. We know it's from the year 1624.
Yeah.
But it could have been that he's been here like a year or two before that.
Probably around that.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Okay.
And he made the remark, well, here in Rixdorf, there's somebody forging, so they have to pay taxes for that.
Okay.
But probably it's been much longer. Because the village was founded in 1360, so like 250 years before that. And it's very unlikely that a village didn't have a forge for like 2.5 centuries.
So what type of iron tool was first made?
Starting out with the Iron Age, it's like the first things made from iron, or actually steel, is jewelry.
Oh.
So it's not like farm tools or weapons or something like that. It was just like jewelry, because in the beginning, the material was quite expensive. So if somebody had like little beads of iron, it was like he was rich.
Oh, how did it get through the special period, like during World War I, World War II? Did you forge weapons, or the government banned people from forging weapons themselves? No, this shop?
This shop. I'm not that old.
This shop?
Well, actually, in World War II, there was not very much actual fighting around here. So the building wasn't damaged and there was nothing, but probably the 3 men that ran the forge back then, being like 2 brothers and a son of the one, they probably were killed in World War II. That means they left for the warfare and never came back.
Is this craft passed on from family to family, like father to son, or by master to apprentice?
Well, in Germany, it's like it's passed on from master to apprentice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't run in the family. It's like my mother is a math teacher. My father was into computer. So I'm the first one in my family doing stuff like that.
You read the book Lord of the Ring,
Yeah.
and then you wanna make a sword yourself?
There's like swords in it, and dwarfs, and people having war with swords, and I just wanted to forge a sword myself.
So you did?
Well, actually, I did in the end, which means I started out the apprenticeship, but the use for swords is like gone a bit back. Nobody needs a sword like nowadays. So I made my own first sword when I did my master's degree.
So how did you discover this is a job you love?
It just happened. It's like I started out wanting to make a sword, and then I learned the job. But in the beginning, it's not about making swords. It's about sharpening knives, and sharpening scissors, and
That's different.
it's very different.
Yeah.
And I was quite
With what you-
frustrated in the beginning. So
Frustrated.
yeah, it's because there's not much forging swords in the job nowadays.
But you kept going on,
I just kept on going,
and you still love it.
I still love it.
Good for you.
And especially the normal sharpening knives and scissors, because it's like the more you look at it, the more you learn. It's like the passion never left me.
With the development of mechanization, some people say that the blacksmith will decline in the future. So what do you think about it? Or how do you plan to pass it on?
Somewhat in the future, there will actually be no need for people blacksmithing to produce tools, but there will be people wanting to learn how to do that. So the craft probably won't die. It will just like probably go in a different direction, because there still will be people wanting a hand-forged knife or hand-forged garden tools, stuff like that. So although there isn't actual need for that, still people wanting it.
So what do you think of the craftsmanship spirit?
Everything that you produce as a single piece has its own characteristic, and you can see that. Even if you have somebody who's hand producing a series, like for example, me making a nail, it's like in my whole life, I've probably hand produced about 40,000 nails. But each nail is like different, and you can see that. What you find in like cold fire, this is slag. There's some coal in between, but it's mainly slag, which actually is something like molten sand. It's just like garbage. I mean, we can throw it away. And we need that for the air to come through. The slag gets stuck in the hole. It will prevent the air from coming through. And what happens is that the fire will get like a little dim. So it's not that it will go out, but it's just like, it's not as efficient anymore. And the other thing with slag is it can stick to the material. It can make the surface like very ugly.
先团个纸球搁中间，然后找个木块劈了当柴用。像不像围着跳舞那种篝火晚会搭起来的篝火？迷你版。
Actually, you can use any fuel for making a fire for forging. The secret is the air. You need air.
先加小木片， 等火起来一点再加打母条。现在火有了，我们还需要空气。
First word about steel. It's a very common term, but technically there's about 2,000 different kinds of steel. That's like, they all are used for different things like making knives or building cars or making bridges or something like that. And it's all different kinds of steel. What they have in common is you can forge all of them. It's like there's some metals that you can forge. There's other metals that you can forge, but actually you can forge every steel. Some of them better, some of them not so good. And what all steels have in common, when you heat them, they glow. Other metals don't do that. From the color, you can tell the temperature. With enough practice, you can tell the difference between about 20 degrees Celsius.
但是仅凭肉眼去观察铁烧红的温度呢，可能也不完全准确。比如，虽然它现在看着很亮，但是当你把它拿到室外的光线底下呢，就几乎看不出什么了，而在阴影里就会更加明显。
Little bit of a glow is important because below that temperature, the steel gets very, very brittle. That means it can break apart. That is about the temperature where you should stop forging because now it becomes very, very brittle. When you have like a paper clip and you bend it back and forth, at a certain point it breaks. If you do that with steel at around 500 degrees Celsius, it breaks very, very easily. So it's like now, when I cool it, now, yeah, it's cool. Should be. And what happens if it gets too hot at around 1,300 degrees, the steel gets damaged. Because like paper or wood, the steel can burn. Like now, if you look closely, see some like little sparks. What you do, you hit it on top, then you turn it 90 degrees, you hit it again, you turn back with the hammer just like straight. The material will get longer and thinner, but it won't get the point. So what you need to do, you have to tilt the hammer. If you happen to hit the material with the edge of the hammer, that is okay because the edge of the hammer stretches the material much faster. So now it's like longer and pointy. Actually, one thing I didn't tell you, but you didn't ask. Another special thing about steel is a very bad heat conductor. So like if you're wondering, why can't I touch it having above 1,000 degrees Celsius right here, at some point it will get too warm. You can just like reset the handle, dipping it in water. Yeah. So I'm keeping the tip warm and I'm just cooling the other side. Now what you see from the edge of the hammer, you have these marks. If you think that the point is like long enough and actually done, what you do is without turning it back and forth, you just like flatten out the marks.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you make any mistakes when you were a apprentice?
When I was an apprentice,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of them.
For example.
I was sharpening the knife of a lawnmower and I didn't look out for the right direction. And what happened, the lawnmower knife got caught in the grinder and was ripped out of my hand and flew through the room. Oh.
So dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Nobody was hurt. I was shocked. But that was a real mistake. Successful people make more mistakes than unsuccessful people. So yeah, I definitely made a lot of mistakes. I'm glad about them. Yeah, now I have a very nice point. There's a painting from 1780 where you have this forge, but it's a much smaller building. It's like a building that is about the size of this room with like a small roof. Then we have written evidence from 1797 where the smith, he built a house for living next to it and he built room for the coal, made a bigger workshop. The measurements of this building from 1797 are fairly exactly the measurements of this building right now. So there's historians that say, well, this building is from 1797. But then there were some massive fires in the village where we're not sure if the forge burned down or not. And the biggest fire was in 1849, and that's why historians say this building is from 1850. And it was like renovated in 1965.
示范看完就该我自己上手了。先把钢棍在火里加热，观察颜色差不多到1200度的时候，就可以拿出来敲打它了。但是还有一个速度的问题啊，就是不然因为过一会儿就凉了，敲不动了，要重新拿回去加热，所以要一遍一遍再加热，加热完了敲一会儿，然后拿回去再加热。
Like back and forth? Yeah.
并且随着钢棍越来越凉，敲出来的声音会越来越脆。目标是把这个有棱角的四四方方的棍儿打成尖尖的、长长的、没有棱的。于是乎，接下来还要重复 n 遍。n 加1遍 ，n 加2遍，直到后面我实在是数不清了，不知道第多少遍了。不是，我怎么觉得没咋变化呢？变化的不是很明显，我劲儿太小了。我觉得我的手腕已经不是我的了，这个比我想象的沉好多，救命啊！我可算知道打铁这个词儿，打是怎么来的，就是你真的要打它。哎，不对，那打饭为什么叫打饭呢？来看看我的三脚架加定时自拍。OK， 搞定，这期视频封面有了。接下来我们要把棍棍弯出一个小尖尖，再窝一个大圈圈。
快修整一下。
And now it's for his biggest trick. One thing that happens is the steel always bends where it is either the thinnest or the hottest. So I can use this, then I cool thinner parts so I can strike them without bending them.
然后我们还要让棍棍有一个优美的弧线，但是全是热的，直接敲这个圈圈就该变形了，所以先把脑袋扎凉水里冷静一下。
I can hit it without harming it.
等于给圈圈定个型，然后再造型。
Most people associate blacksmithing, that's where the name comes, with the color black. And if you look at this is, well, more gray. Blacksmithing comes from a technique that we used a long time ago for rust prevention. Because normally if you would put something like that out in the garden, it looks beautiful, but with some days of rain, it will turn rusty. And to prevent that, what you do, first of all, we want to remove all the dirt that is on the surface. It chips off very easily if you cool it for a very, very small moment. Like if I just go into the water for just like a small moment, it's not really cool, but the surface, like the little parts of dirt and iron oxide, can be scrubbed off more easily. And then what you do, you dip it into fat. And then you burn the fat. And actually what you want to have is that it doesn't burn completely, but it turns into something that is a little bit like tar. It's like here when you see there's like this small blue flame that goes on and off.
到我了，照葫芦画瓢，打个大弯钩，敲敲敲。再加热一次，再弯弯。
Actually, this is the oil that you use for cooking. It's not fat, it's grease. I have to ask my journeyman what the correct word is. Ooh. And you do that a couple of times.
Oh.
Yeah, there's this little blue flame.
Like magic.
Like magic. And then, yeah, if you do that for a couple of times, and then after that, you wipe off the grease that is too much, and then it gets this typical black color, and it is prevented from rusting.
看完了师傅的示范，终于轮到我自己上了。先蘸一点魔法药水儿，小心翼翼地举着，走过来，走过来，挪过来。然后我们把魔杖的尖尖拿到3味真火上烤烤。这么看，突然感觉像什么火之酋长的图腾。成了，大功告成！新鲜出炉的魔杖，布灵布灵，哇！
哈，大家好，经过我的不懈努力，我觉得我明天胳膊可能会酸疼。首先那个锤子比我想象的要沉，然后那个棍儿我砸它一下它弹一下，我砸它一下它弹一下，还戳我手我看人家师傅敲挺简单的呀，怎么我自己敲这么费劲？但 但是我 get 了自己的魔杖，还是淬过火的哟。虽然它长得有点像一个棍儿糖，但是看起来不太好吃的样子。好了，把它带回家，这个有魔力的，到时候可以留着许愿。或者因为这个是施过魔法的，所以下次如果看谁不开心，我可以点它，然后把它变成青蛙。咦嘻嘻，哇
Martin 师傅脑子里想着德语，努力说英语，像极了我想着中文努力说英语的样子。
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. By the way, did you know that successful people make more mistakes than unsuccessful people?
Because they tried more times.
Yeah, it's the way how you deal with them. If you make a mistake and you just are frustrated and
Give up?
give up, then you don't learn. But if you like make a mistake and just say, well, have to do better next time, you learn. And successful people made a lot of mistakes and learned every time. That's why they're successful. So yeah, I definitely made a lot of mistakes. I'm glad about them.